Hey everybody, happy Wednesday afternoon here. We're supposed to be having a snowstorm, but so far it's looking pretty good, which is awesome because I have to go out drive it later. But what I wanted to do was come on quickly today. This is going to be a quick finish, mostly because it moves pretty fast. But I wanted to show you the color wash that I have added onto this. And I know some of you had said, I'm still not liking it. And I'm with you. I'm not liking it either. But I did do some of the sides while we were apart in the finish that I'm going to show you today. And I am liking it way better. So what we're looking at doing is doing a quick color wash. And we're going to be spraying on our colors. So what I have here is a water bottle with just water. I have an old Windex bottle without Windex, but with DIY Bohemian blue. And this is probably about 4 or 5 parts water to 1 part of paint. DIY paint, really highly pigmented. So we don't have to have tons of paint in there. And really, we're looking at still wanting to have some of these colors peeking through. So we're not looking at spraying a full solid coverage of paint, which is great because it would never come through these spray nozzles anyway. And then the other color, the green color that I've got, is also DIY paint. It is gypsy green, but mixed with a little dollop of Hay Sailor, which is kind of like a navy royal blue kind of color, and then again tons of water. So the idea with this is that we want the colors to be running down the piece. Now, because this, unlike the sides, has ledges, it does mean that there'll be a bit of pooling of color. So I may take a little bit of paper towel to soak some of that up, but we want to kind of have it running down the piece so that we can see some of these colors underneath, and we'll kind of go from there. And I'm kind of on my knees for this because, again, I keep getting awkward sized pieces. I can't stand and I can't sit. So what we want to do first is just lightly mist. And this particular water bottle is a mister. It's not a spray bottle, so I'm not getting tons of heavy coverage on this. I just want to help some of the paint move a little bit as we go. So I'm not soaking it, I'm just giving it a little bit of movement so that when I start spraying, it doesn't soak right in right away. And again, don't necessarily do this in your living room because, and I'm putting glasses on for this, because overspray, not a good thing for your furniture if you really want to keep it looking nice. So here we go, and we are just adding some color. And I'm going to spray these bottom drawers too, actually, now that I'm seeing that I can't not get paint on them, which is a little lower than your screen, so my apologies. But I think I'm going to get paint going on them anyway. So you might have some spots a little heavier. Oh my goodness, this is a hard spray. And quite honestly, my other one jammed up on me, so I just hit the dollar store for another spray bottle. And this likes to spray out, and it's got a rebound effect. So unfortunately, I feel like I just ate a little bit of paint here. Okay, and then we come back in with some of our water again. So we're looking to create a little bit of movement. I certainly don't want, especially where that green is, I don't want those big, hard blotches of the green paint there. But we're looking at getting this running, moving down on the piece a little bit, and kind of creating a soft overcolor. Now I will say, on the sides, I did a couple of coats of this. So we need to get the color on it now and then a lot of it will kind of run down, run off, but we let it dry, and then we'll come back in with a little bit more color, and it will layer over top of this. So where you might be seeing a lot of those undercolors right now, once we get going and once this kind of all bleeds down and we do a second coat, we're not going to see it as much. So you can already see that it's kind of softening. I got to get up a little bit for this. It's kind of softening a little bit of those colors that we had in there. We got a little bit of pooling, and some of the pooling I quite like. So where it's creating kind of the blue ledging here, and we see a little bit more of that detail, that's going to work for me. Okay? But what we're looking at is really getting some of the colors more to run. We'll get a softer effect. We'll get a softer effect because of that, rather than just painting it on solid or just painting a wash. Okay? And like I said, this is going to be a quick video because right now I need that to dry. So before I do anything else, I need this to dry, and then we come back in and we do exactly the same thing again. We'll lay more color down on top of it. We'll get that wash on wash effect. And then we can look at whether we want a third coat or whether we're able to seal the piece at that point in time. What I have been sealing it with is DIY, let me grab it over here for you, is the DIY Old and Gray, which is kind of like a weathered wood patina. So I'm getting the gray patina over top. This works great as a stain. You can rub it on raw wood and rub it off. But it's also giving that slight grayness, gray cast over top of the piece as well. So apart from having a hard time finding handles and wishing I'd plugged those holes up, this piece is pretty close to being done. We're going to let this dry. Later today, I'll be able to apply at least one more coat to it. I'll let it dry for at least an hour. I don't want to just reactivate the paint and move this again. I'll do another coat, possibly two, let it dry fully, and then I'll be painting it with the weathered wood. So the next time that you see it, it should be done and maybe getting into some of the staging, assuming I can find some handles. So here's the deal. Apparently 4.5-inch handles in just a nice simple style that aren't $15 to $40 per handle are particularly difficult to find. And I think I had a piece once before where I found that to be true as well. And I ended up having to go back and seal it. Now, I do have the advantage on this piece that the original hardware was still in great shape and still works. I thought it would look a little bit heavy. I may end up having to use it, in which case we'll see once it's done what I do with whatever the color is. There may be a way to soften it, but it's looking likely that I am going to have to be using those handles because I don't want to be paying $15 or $20 per handle. I need 4 because already then I'm pricing this piece way too high for what somebody is going to want to be purchasing for. And that's part of the challenge when you're looking at hardware, is that you can substantially increase the price and price yourself out of the possible resale market. So I'll wait to see what this looks like. I'm still going to continue my search, but a lot of my regular suppliers, it's not a happening thing. So I'll see what I'm able to come up with. I'll see when the piece is done what the other hardware look like, and we'll end up kind of going where we have to go with this. I at least have the option of using the old hardware, which was in awesome shape, mostly because it's really solid. But so is this piece. So we'll see how that goes. You can see where, again, a lot of that finish is kind of washed away. The next layer of this, when this is dry, will stick even more, and will soften some of these brighter colors just that bit more as well, so that we end up just seeing these peeking through rather than being as in your face or as bold as they are right now. So I'll do at least one more of those washes, possibly 2. on the front because it's more detailed. Sorry about that. And I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.